Hello everybody, welcome to episode 68 of the Contest Realm podcast. If you don't know already, we're available on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes podcasts. Make sure to follow on the respective platforms, as it does help out the podcast be seen, recognised on those things, and just for us to know you're digging and loving the podcast. But yeah, thanks very much for the support. We've been up to like episode 68, which is incredible. Myself and Dan, who is with me now, of Frontline MCOC. You can find him at www.frontlinemcoc.home.blog and on Twitter, where he's just reached 3,000 followers at Frontline MCOC. Woohoo! You did it.
Hey, Rich, how we doing?
We're doing good, I think. I assume.
We're doing all right. So, Rich, well, we do talk a lot of Marvel on this podcast. We also talk about getting old.
Yes.
I want to tell you how old I got last weekend. Last weekend, I pulled a muscle in my back tying my shoe. I'm now that old.
No, it cannot be.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt physically. It hurt more mentally. Like in the past, it's always been like lifting something too heavy, right? That I knew I shouldn't be doing. This was just a normal activity, just trying to go for a walk. Nope, denied.
That is so annoying.
I know. And what's worse is I still had to mow the lawn that day because my mother-in-law was coming over for dinner, and I didn't want to have her comment on the state of the lawn. So I still had to
honestly, what is with it with parents and that? Like me, I tell you what, like me and Em, we worked quite a lot, and then it's like, Monday to Friday. If for whatever reason Em's like dad like it's not Em's mum, but Em's dad comes, he's always kind of like tidying bits of the house, like. It's like, Look, we just threw a bit of trash, a bit of rubbish. So I remember, I'm English. We threw a bit of rubbish that's slightly near the bin, but it didn't go in. He'll come in and pick up said rubbish and put it in the bin. And if you're American at home, we left some trash by the trash can, and someone grabs the trash and puts the trash in a trash can. It's like, we'll get round to it. We've got some like things we've got to clean around the kitchen. Maybe some stuff hasn't been washed, but we get it sorted by the weekend. And it's like, your grass needs cutting and all that. And we're just like,
yeah,
let us live. Please, won't you let us live?
We're so busy. I just want to read a comic book.
Yes!
Can people just let me be?
Let me be, please.
15 minutes.
I'm sure there's people that will relate to this.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's not just us being... unless it's going to be some person go, well, I always keep my abode tidy, spick-span. It's like, well, no, you're not a normal person.
Maybe. I don't know if that's our audience, Rich.
No, that's true, actually. No. Everybody relates. That's why you listen and watch the podcast.
Everyone relates.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So, it's been quite a trip. 2021, man. What a journey it's been. And what a month this has been for the contest. This has been one of the stranger months. Like I the only thing I would compare it to is maybe like the extended overheating issue that we had.
Yeah.
What was it, like 3 years ago, that kind of like took out a good portion of a month?
Yeah.
Now, because, your first notice, how we doing on this month's content? I haven't done much of it because I'm waiting for the game to get fixed. Now, I will say I'm not experiencing the bug, the Parry bug, as much as I was right after the update.
Yeah.
So I feel better about that. I think clearly they're working on it, but they also haven't given the all clear, and in fact are actually starting a beta to test this thing, which makes you think that they think it's pretty serious.
Yeah. For me, like, I've always had a problem with the what always seems to be the input around, dropped inputs around things like blocking and parry, because then I'm like, right, okay, so if I've clicked down for a block but neither a parry engages neither a block, then that's down to a dropped input. I mean, a lot of people would say that, like, okay, well, have you made sure you cleared everything that's running in the background? Have you cleaned your screen? But it's always been something that's been there. And maybe this is something when it comes to this month, for whatever reason, something has been amplified to the max, and I don't know. I don't develop the game. I have no idea what's going on with it. But yeah, it's something that must have like really, as you said, really gone wrong. That even Kabam are looking at it and going like, ooh. And even that the note of this is that it's extended to things like dexes, and
right.
And not to say that there wasn't anything ridiculously good about the consistency of that, or consistently bad. I definitely felt at times, but then at times I'm like, is this around the dropped inputs with the game? So I'd be interested to see where this hotfix leads in the performance improvements.
Yeah, I mean, they, when you think about it, they extended Summer of Pain, week 4 by a week, which caused another problem, of course.
Yes.
They delayed the Summoner Showdown by a week. They've now given a second round of Alliance Quest compensation, like up front, which is nice. I like the glory, and my Alliance actually chose to drop down and run map 5 the last 2 weeks, and with the extra glory, other than the T5CC, you're pretty much coming out in the same place.
Yeah, we're doing map 7 still today, and definitely found it with interactions with some champions that the parry and dex issues, like definitely like I had a dex issue with Magneto, and the thing is, this is why I can see why you guys have dropped down to map 5, because if you make a mistake, champion gone. And it's like, yeah, we get those revives, but it's like, it's...
Well, that's the problem, and it might be fine for like 7 or 8 people, but 1 or 2 might have a path where they item out, or they or it's very expensive for them. It's interesting. Like, I find you can get through map 7 and spend 0 items. Yeah. But it's hard to spend like only 1 or 2. Yeah. Like, it's either 0 or something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. I know.
And then you're healing up and reviving, and it escalates quickly.
Yeah. It's just that, again, like going to path selection. Like, I'm kind of like at a point where I like other people to kind of like choose that. We've just set up a new kind of like rotation for a new variant. For variant 2, so I've been like, look, I said, like, leave me with the paths, and I will select my champions around it. And I think I've got something like Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Major League, and God, if I can remember the last one, but I think Spiked Armor is my kind of like my third. I'm 777 for that. So I found. But again, like the parry dex issues, like I do want to commit to doing it, and I'm happy that we are doing it, because it's just the means of being as competitive as we can possibly be, and also just more like training the Alliance more, because we've only very recently got into map 7, and it's good for me, because I just needed a lot. I need to return back to it. I need a bit more experience, those kind of things. And then it's just getting back to it. But you definitely notice some changes in the behaviour, not just the AI, but also the way that the Dex and Parry are kind of functioning. So it's a catch-22 situation, but it is what it is.
For sure.
If you haven't seen already, that there's on the forum, you can sign up. I might, if I get time, sign up for it, but I think it's just finding some extra time to do it. And with the game, at the moment, I feel like I should be doing a lot more, especially with content and things elsewhere, and monthly content. So it's like going, do I have time for another beta, because I want to do Act 7.3. Have you tried to get into? Have you played any 7.3 yet?
I have not played any 7.3 yet. No, I've actually seen very little content about it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the problem with it being summertime. I do want to get into it and have a look at Act 7.3, which I might do next week, but it's just. The problem is, because of like a big personal matter that happened to me over the weekend, it kind of like it derailed like my plans, and also just getting back to making content normally. I'm kind of like trying to do a 2 video schedule a day, plus covering a lot of new stuff that's breaking with information and news. and feeling a little bit burnt out from all the side quest based stuff.
Yeah.
It's a case like, you know,
the side quest. I haven't even done a run of the side quest yet. I'm hoping to catch up once everything gets fixed. I got to do some work this weekend. But you know, before we move on from the bug stuff, you know, obviously Kabam hasn't fixed it as of our recording this, but how do you feel about sort of the let's call it crisis management of communication and compensation so far? Like, you know, obviously you never want something to go wrong, but you can tell a lot about a game by how they handle it when it does go wrong. How do we feel like they're handling this particular issue?
I'll go with one word, and it's neither a positive, neither a negative, and the word is better. Right.
Better. I would say better is very fair.
Yeah, because
I would say they've been much quicker. I would say quicker is the word I would use. They've been quicker all around in their responses and compensation. They have not left people hanging in the wind. Yeah, which is nice.
This is really I don't know if you go again. Fair to say, like, about a comparison with other games. Other games, you know, they're quick on the mark when it comes to compensation. If a game's developer, from some of the other mobile games that I played, where I'll just round off a few: Marvel Future Revolution, Raid Shadow Legends, Gemstone Legends, which is one of the sponsored games at the moment on the channel. Many more. Like, there's many more mobile games where as soon as they've identified they've made a mistake or there's been a maintenance downtime, what they've done is they've then sent out the player a compensation package to deal with it. They're very difficult because with some of those other games, when a mistake happens so large into the game functionality, they will look to rapidly get it sorted within 24 to 48 hours. Very different with Kabam because for whatever reason, and again, I'm not a games developer, so I can't say 100%. You know, it based on the way that the game is built, the way they have to upload it and deal with it and make changes and develop it, it takes longer. Now, ideally, I'd love to say that they could change that, but only they can know how to improve their game.
Right.
But yeah, like, I've definitely seen improvements to the way the compensation packages have been brought out to deal with it. It's just a case of like, and it's good to have the warning to say, don't do end game content or don't do content.
Right.
Which, you know, it sucks for me because I'd like to go this month. I'd like to get back into Act 7.2 to 100% it. And as well, I've got this, Dan, it's a bit of a sad thing. Like, at the weekend, I was meant to set up my iPad Pro 2021. And it's still here in a wrapping. That's how busy
you haven't even
is.
You haven't even broken the new toy out of the box.
No, I have not.
That is busy.
That is that is busy.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's the thing. I wanted to get on like testing that, but yeah, kind of close off. They've done, in my eyes, a bit better. They've done better to kind of let people know with communication, get those compensation packages out quicker, as you said. And that is something to kind of like say, okay, well, it's if they can have those crisis and damage limitation situations, that's what they need to do in a very short space of time. And if they continue that, then that's good. I mean, ideally, I would have liked them to have done that back about 2, 3, maybe even 4 years ago. But here's the thing: you can't always live in the past. You need to kind of like strive forward, like a little flag with going like, "Come on, Kabam, go Kabam, we believe in you, please."
Yeah, I mean, I think they've learned some lessons about some past issues. It's just it's rough that it's like this is going on along with the Summoner Camp event, which clearly has not landed the way that they wanted it to. Like, it's really rough when you take something like, okay, so they had the Summoner Appreciation Calendar last year, which everyone wanted back if you looked at the forums in the last month. And clearly they wanted to take it in a different direction, make it more of an event and have multiple parts and some choices and whatever. And unfortunately, it's like, okay, a little bit of execution, a lot of confusion on messaging, people feeling like they're missing out early because they didn't claim the objective and it expired so quickly. As like that one just feels bad because it was like, as I, just in general, like when you're working in business or in life or whatever, like you don't want something that you envision to be like a big win to turn into a loss. And it's like everyone I talk to is like, I'm already done with this thing. Like,
yeah,
like they just like everyone feels a little burnt by it. And that's just, that's rough when that's supposed to be like the centerpiece, like feel good event of the summer. So, but I think they already have realized that. Like, based on what I've seen, and they've tried to do a few things to correct it, but as we've learned, it's really tough to turn around the narrative on something once it's going the wrong way on you.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen like a few comments like on some of my videos about stuff like, oh, Rich, you got these sums wrong and this sum wrong, and like, oh, is this right? And even more questions than the content that I can, and I'm like, I'm not going to.
Nobody knows, Rich.
Nobody
knows.
I've now reached the point of just going like, I'm done. You know me. Where there's a certain point where I draw the line of making more content on side events, because it's like, I'm done with this month. Like creatively, it means that the less time that I'm the more time that I'm creating stuff based on one particular month is the less time I'm kind of focusing on some of the videos that I want to make, which is like Act 5 exploration guides, Act 6 exploration guides, Act 7 exploration guides. All the stuff that I think, for me personally, creatively, I want to go in that direction, rather than being drawn back into doing news and grind guides and monthly information, which is something I absolutely love doing. It's my favourite part of the month. But that, for me, occupies about 1 week to maybe, at a stretch, 1.5 weeks of the month. And then it's like, I need to get back to kind of like chilling and vibing with the stuff that I enjoy making, or stuff that community members have said to me, Rich, can you update your Act 5 guide? Could you update and redo the way you do your Act 5 guide, Act 6 guide, Act 7 guide, best ways to get units, best ways to do... And it's like, I want to pull myself in a different direction creatively to make those kind of things. But, you've got to strive to keep going and whatnot. With it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like all the, I feel like they've cleaned up the side quests in the last couple months, but all the confusion from the side quests transferred into Summoner Camp.
Yeah, the thing is with that, there's still elements of the side event having an element of choice, which is good, but at the same time, there's those things that adding those little secret objectives in, which I love, by the way. Having, like, Kabam gave out, like, as much as they've been a little bit with certain stuff with the Parry and Dex issues and the Summer of Pain stuff, having those fabulous crystals as an option, like, if you've got the mouth of the fabulous one for either the 5-star or 6-star, you're getting like those fabulous crystals and pocketing some great amount of units. I think I saw somebody pick up 1,000 units from just like one pack of 8, and I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's a good time.
Because if you already got the mouth, you can like get another club and then do another run of the side events. So that's like. And it's a great choice because you can either go, okay, well, I want to focus on rank up materials, or I want to go and grab a fully formed 6-star for your trouble. And it's like, this is great, coupled with the fact that you've got some decent milestones as well. It's a great month for side events.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to, okay, we're going to move on and talk about Summer of Pain, week 5, a little bit of week 4 being a bit scuffy. I personally had the robot one to do, I just needed a little bit of a break away from it, so I did it and kind of thought, hey, I'm still at the point of recording this video, the podcast with yourself. I'm on 8 points. I should not be on 8 points.
No, so did you do the Venom fight?
I've not done the Venom fight yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't done the Venom fight either, but it looks like there's some interesting options for Venom this week.
Yeah, because you got Symbiote Supreme, Magic Morning Star, to name but 3 Mystics that interact very well. Stark Spidey for getting Spider-Verse and the tech option. What else have you seen, Dan?
I had my buddy Vet messaged me that Howard the Duck is amazing for this fight, and seeing a lot of Spider Ham as well.
Yes, that's a good point.
And I have a lot of those champions as 6-stars. So I have a 6-star Howard the Duck. I just pulled 6-star Spider Ham. So probably looking in that direction. I mean, Symbiote Supreme's always a good time versus Venom. I know there's some nodes that factor in here, and you're going to have to make sure you stack up the bleed debuffs to a certain point before you go ham on him. But still seems like a very doable fight with Symbiote Supreme.
That's what I'm gonna be doing. Stark Spidey for Tech and Spider-Verse, and then Symbiote Supreme or any other symbiote really that I kind of quite fancy the idea of taking in. I just think I don't want to do. I hate repeating like fights multiple times, so I'll look to at least do it.
You don't want to do it 3 times.
No, I'd rather just do it
twice.
two and done type situation. So I'm going to probably do that over the weekend. I think if I get some time here or there. But yeah, it's like I know a lot of people are going like, oh, this isn't Summer of Pain, but because it's not painful. We're only week 5 now. Week five.
So we're crossing the halfway point.
Yeah, I think that we've got more painful things to come.
Yeah, no retreat champion just around the corner.
Yeah, we know it. We know it's going to happen.
You know it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's like I know a lot of people, a lot of very skilled people were did some great things against that Darkhawk. For me, these Summer of Pain fights, while I've been able to get through them with 1 revive, it's taken an hour of practice for me to get to the point where I could do the fight in 1 revive.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think it's been fun. It's been a good skill check for me, and I've enjoyed having the 1 fight to focus on a week. But I know for people who are, multiple tiers of skill above me, they can do this stuff pretty quick. And, they're posting solo videos a half hour after the fight goes live. It's like, how'd you get it to render that fast?
Yeah.
Never mind beat the fight.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them.
Because I'm not really in that kind of boat. If one revive, 2 revives, maybe even, depending on the week. There's been some times where it just hasn't really kind of felt like I've been enjoying it. So it's just been like, just get it done at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the rewards are so good that you're like, I don't mind spending a couple revives if that's what it takes on this.
Yeah, because on some of the peaks,
I'll take my 6-star Nexus. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's I'm all hoping for. It's like, oh, give me the good stuff.
Yeah, and it's that's the other thing. It's like it's not like it's gonna take like a tremendous amount of time either. Like it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah.
In that way.
I think for me, I want the this feels like if you spent like for the really skilled players, they probably won't spend anything when it comes to units, and it'll probably be like they go through the revive stash. Even if you kind of spend in this event about 3,000 units, the value that you'd get by getting the final milestone outweighs what was in my opinion, a July 4th deal for the cost of 3,000 units. I only base that on the fact that there's 2 tier 5 class catalyst selectors. There is a high volume of the most premium stuff in game. The signature stones for 75 is a nice volume of it to grab, and then also with that 6-star Nexus Crystal selector, you will be able to choose. What I don't know personally what I choose. I probably will choose skill, to be honest, because if I get like something like Nick Fury or awaken my Aegon, which is a slim chance on a massive pool of it's still like for me. It's going to be seen as value, so.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's a massive amount of rewards in the last few peak milestones of this thing. I mean, once you're talking 6-star Nexus selectors, like choose your class, and at the end two full T5CC selectors, like that's insane.
Yeah.
To get 2 at the same time, like that's setting up R4s for people.
Absolutely.
So.
For me, it's like,
that's just craziness.
It's getting 2 rank 3 6-stars that just like means the most to me, because like the amount of time between getting, and I've got content to do in game, nearly close to 100%ing at 7.2, which it's just going to take a bit of time because of like the current bug situation going on, and
right.
as soon as we get this iPad Pro set up, we'll see what the quality of the game's like. But I'm kind of like excited to get a lot more content done, which it's going to be good. It's going to be good to kind of get it done, get the good rewards, but also kind of like start growing my 6-star roster now and kind of feel confident around it. But yeah, that's really kind of covered a lot of our MCOC related topics, I think. Is there anything else that you might think of, Dan?
No, I think let's get into the Loki finale.
Oh yes, the most exciting part.
Wow, that was quite an episode, Rich. So yes, episode 6.
Yeah, you say this every week, but I do not know where to start with it because it's just. Yeah. I think the payoff for me.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
What a payoff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I did not feel tricked.
Yep.
It was not a Ralph Boner situation
or a Mandarin from Iron Man 3 situation.
Yep, no, it was not. It was the real deal, Rich. And they called the episode For All Time Always, but in my mind the episode's true title was That's Gotta Be Kang.
Yes.
Cuz you see him and you're like, "Wait, that's Jonathan Majors."
Yeah.
Wait, he got cast to play Kang in Ant-Man 3. Holy crap. Wait, he just said Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
Like 31st century. Holy crap. And you're just like, you're peeling away. Because, I mean, he's the centerpiece of the episode. Yeah. I think he has more lines than anyone in the episode. They just gave him this episode to run with. And you're right. It was an incredible payoff. There was no bait and switch.
Yeah.
Like, and it was, Kang, of course, is, you've got Council of Kangs, we get true multiverse.
Yeah.
Again, no bait and switch. We get Kang, we get this interesting version of Kang that we haven't seen before in like comics or cartoons, in my experience at least, where it's like this sort of weary, end of the road Kang who's won and lived with winning for a long time and is tired of it. Just a fantastic performance. And, would you say that Sylvie has triggered a multiverse of madness, Rich?
Yes. Maybe we should send some person to get him, a doctor we should call in order to deal with this.
Yeah. It's interesting. A lot of this stuff that we thought was going to happen in WandaVision actually happened in Loki in that regard.
This episode, I think like some people took the screenshot of when he was showing the various different types of variants and the meeting of them. It had the Conqueror version in there, so he's like in his proper regalia. I mean,
in the armor,
in the armor, and it's weird because there's a lot of stuff with this, like the Sylvie Loki turn and Sylvie not properly trusting Loki, and Loki is just like. The best version of Tom Hiddleston's Loki is now the quintessential good guy now. It's like I love that because I think everybody has this kind of like affinity towards Tom Hiddleston's Loki, and
for sure.
There's so many things. Like there's Loki's like is reasoning because it's like, look, I've been to a point where I've died in the past and stuff like we need to really consider what is being said by this guy here, this Kang guy, and then it's like, but Sylvie's still kind of burdened with her own glorious purpose to finish.
Yeah, she can't work past it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, she's been so focused on the prize that she can't give it up when it's right in front of her, no matter what the cost is. She's not thinking about that. And that's, like you said, that's the turn with Tom Hiddleston's Loki is, it's like, I'm a liar and I don't think he's lying.
Yeah.
So we need to think about that. And, how great an acting moment is that transition where Kang runs out of foresight, so to speak. And you just see it like him just fall apart. Like it's all in his face. It was an amazing acting job. And it's sort of like suddenly you've got this guy who's probably been, omnipotent basically for an endless amount of time, and it's all gone, and he just sort of has this like nervous breakdown. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like how he played that, and just the way he describes it, like we know, Kang, like this dude could be playing Kang for the next like 40 years because they can just keep popping Kang variants at us.
Absolutely.
from the multiverse.
The crazy thing about this is how and where they can go with all these different multiversal kind of branching off things, moments and whatevers. Nexus moments. It's weird because we got Nexus crystals and MCOC. Is that causing a Nexus moment when you open one up? But the way that that's clever, isn't it? Like he's like the way that Nexus crystal opens up 3 different opportunities for you as in MCOC, but also if we look at the Nexus of it, Anyway, like the branching off of things is, it for me, is a little bit overwhelming, but a little bit exciting and a little bit kind of like confusing at the same time, which is how a branch needs to be. So I'm like looking at this going like, okay, right, so we've still got people that are dead. We've got Gamora from a different time period that's in right now. Could we see return back of some other characters or actors because they're going a different way? I saw people trending that, well, under certain circumstances, Black Widow could be, or Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow could be in another time, not a timeline of another multiverse being brought in. But then I've got to come to the terms of the fact that we've got, is it Ramona? Is it Ramona? Is her name the kind of
Ravonna? Yeah,
Ravonna. That's she's gone off. She's been given a special.
Where'd
time
she
pad.
go?
Yeah, she's been given a special time pad. And we finish off the episode. I'm jumping around. We can come back to talk about some stuff in the episode in a minute. Good. But she goes off to another multiversal timeline or whatever. And we then find Loki, who's been kicked by Sylvie into something which is either another timeline. No, it's either another timeline or another multiverse.
Is that an alternate TVA? Like, why doesn't Mobius recognize him?
Exactly. And he looks, the end point is him looking at the Conqueror version of Kang as the leader of the TVA in whatever multiverse. But in that multiverse, they're still watching the kind of the branching off. So it's all relative to the story going off. And I'm just there going like, what the bloody hell's going on? It's all exciting.
I know. Yeah, my head was spinning at that point. Thank goodness we got the Loki will return in season 2. At the end, I was really hoping for a post-credit scene. So, as much as I love the episode, I think if this was the story they were gonna tell, like they should have given him more than 6 episodes because the show has been excellent. And again, it's like if your complaint is I want to see more right now, is that really a complaint? It didn't feel like, let's say, Falcon and Winter Soldier, like clear stopping point of that narrative, and yes, there's room for a season 2, but it's like we tied up sort of the loose end. Same thing with WandaVision. Done. We're done in that town. We're moving on. Yes, we've got some stuff out there with White Vision and the twins, but like that chapter got closed. Like I don't feel like a Loki as a 6-episode narrative closed the chapter on what they were trying to tell with this season. It really feels like we're in the middle of a season. I think we're going to get 2 seasons that really feel narratively like one season, and once they're both out, should probably be watched all at the same time. So I honestly, like that was the only frustrating thing for me, was like, all right, this just doesn't feel like a good stopping point for this story. So I don't know. I would say that's my one criticism of Loki is like, hey guys, you're gonna stop here. Like none of the higher ups were like, this story's so good, like give them more episodes. Like no one thought that.
Yeah. I thought there could have been a bit more done with there's loads of little things, as you said, like the way that this is such a big thing, like talk about the understanding the impact of, and I don't know if that's the problem. I can't remember like anybody in the TVA explaining right at the beginning of the impact of kind of like branching timelines and what they do, and kind of like instilling that throughout the season, this bigger picture. And I understand that it was building that way, but the journey seems like it was very kind of like, somebody is messing up the branching, wants to do the branching of things, and we've got branching off. Oh, there's Loki in order to deal with this particular situation. Yeah. But really, this Sylvie's character's been doing this for a lot longer. Like, she was young when she was brought in, and she'd been doing this for years and years and years. It's like, well, we haven't really seen what she's been doing over those years. Then Loki's been put into the picture, and he is just like, hi, I'm here. I'm Loki. I'm here to help. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, now everything's twisting again. It needs to be changed. And then we go over for this ride. It goes chaotic. We got a big kind of like crash of a planet. And then we're at, and then before you know it, you feel like, okay, well, Loki's on for the ride to destroy down whatever's created the TVA. And then it's a case where we're kind of like at the end point. It's like, what? It's like,
yeah. I mean, maybe they had to stop here just because they need the crisis to be played out in Doctor Strange and maybe Spider-Man and some of the other movies. I see you mentioned notes like reason for the Eternals to get involved in what's going down. Maybe like it seems like the kind of thing. Like I don't know if that works for Eternals 1, because in the original order of things, Eternals was supposed to come out before Loki, right?
Yes, that's a good point.
And I think it's going to be more of an origin story, but they could be already angling for an Eternals too, and they'll get involved in it in that way. But yeah, really interesting to see where this all spills out from, and if they are indeed going to set up, let's just say, a Kang,
yes,
as the big bad for wherever the Avengers end up in the next 5 or so years.
Yeah, I guess we'll know for Ant-Man Quantumania what he will be up to, and will that, as I said, will that start the kind of like end point, Endgame 2, Kang's Revenge, or Kang's thing, Kang's Gambit.
Kang's Gambit, yeah. There's some great. I don't know. There's some great Kang stories though in the comics. Like he's a tremendous villain. There's a lot for them to work with there, and so I'm definitely excited. Now that we've got to see Jonathan Majors in action as Kang, like that. It's one thing to be like, okay, like I want to see this character on screen, and then it's another thing when you see a person actually portraying them and like hitting it out of the park, and you're like, oh, like as long as they just give this guy like a good script, like he's gonna have a lot of fun with it and really deliver.
Yeah, and it's just the he had that good mix of being sinister, just like it's sinister, but also kind of like suave. And it's just all the. First of all, when I was looking at the background, I was thinking, and he had like the thing around his neck, like a medallion thing. I was thinking, first of all, because I didn't know who he was, I was like, okay. I was first glance, I was okay. This is to do with him being Kang. This is like Jonathan Majors. But then I was like thinking for a moment, is this a ruse? And he's actually someone like a Doctor Strange, like a Sorcerer Supreme, because just look at the background of the way that they kind of it looks similar to the Sanctum, and I was like going, could it be? And then it was like, nah, this guy's a bit villainous, so but not as villainous as we're probably going to see down the line.
Yeah, we're probably going to see as he alluded to a much more sinister version of himself. That this has just opened up a web of possibilities, and that the other Kangs, which have been held in check by the TVA, are about to run wild. Yeah, lot to look forward to.
God, roll on season 2. Roll on the next movie that ties into this, which will probably be Spider-Man Far From Home. I keep on getting annoyed because I keep on seeing people going, trailers next week for Spider-Man Far From Home, and it's like, every week goes by and it's like it's not that. I'm surprised.
They say that every week. Yeah,
I am surprised that with. Are we still 5 months out? We have not seen a single trailer for it.
Yeah, that is interesting. At the same time, though, like they don't even need a trailer for Spider-Man 3.
I know. It's like
it's like that movie's gonna make $1 billion. You know? It's called Spider-Man 3. Take our money.
I still don't know if I'm more likely saying no. I don't think we're going to see Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, even though everybody's like, oh, well, it's got to be that. They've got to be in it. It's like, well, don't think that way, because like at the end of the day, the way that there's little things like Andrew Garfield's stunt double was seen on set from Far From Home and had to delete the image. Have we seen Tobey Maguire close to anything?
Like, maybe it's like cameos or something, or just like, the sort of thing where it's like Tom Holland Spider-Man gets to catch visions of other Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Like I don't see a scenario where it's Toby and Tom and Andrew throwing down together at the climax of the movie to defeat the big bad.
Yeah, you might just have CGI.
I don't think
version.
that's happening.
Yeah, you should probably just have like CGI version and like some of the kind of like voiceovers that they did from there.
Well, if it's Toby's version, his mask will get shredded because Toby's mask lasts like 5 seconds in any fight. So.
That's true.
It's just like that was always the thing with like his Spider-Man movies. Like, dude, like Secret Identity, this mask like is not holding up.
No, that's true.
Thing gets ruined every fight.
Ah, damn it.
Yep.
Right, we better move on and talk about. I'm not really playing Marvel Realm of Champions. Are you playing it at the moment?
I actually have been playing a lot in the past week, just because it's like, well, if MCOC's having a rough week, I'm gonna play some Realm. There's been some good updates with the transmog is starting to feel a little better. I was a little frustrated with how that rolled out and some of the gear that you already had not being unlocked. But as you play, that starts to become less of an issue. The Hulk wing shield is a really fun weapon. It's really kind of changed the way that Hulk plays. For me, it's kind of you remember in the first like the Edward Norton Hulk movie where he like takes the two pieces of the car and turns them into like fists.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, and you can like throw it and pick it up. It's actually a cool little game within a game, and it really makes Hulk smash, and it feels good. But what I thought was most interesting is that yesterday I received an invite in game to join this like play test over Zoom that the dev team is having.
Oh yeah.
So like they're in that phase where they're like interviewing players. So that was like the big piece for me. It's like, okay, like clearly like they're trying to get some more in-depth knowledge. Like they've been surveying a lot over the last couple months. They've been having these detailed surveys. I think they've sent one of those detailed surveys out for contest as well. But now they're at the point where they're taking a group of players for one-on-one interviews. So I don't know if I'm actually going to get to do the interview. It's how it is. It's like you get, they send them out. They're going to get a certain percentage back. They're going to pick from that, and we'll see where it goes. But I thought that was very interesting that they're at that stage, because I think they've got to be reading the writing on the wall with Future Revolution and the response that beta got, and how all these content creators are flocking to this game. You changing your second channel to Rich's Revolution.
Yeah.
And and as we talked about before, narratively a very similar game that almost feels like a prequel narratively to Realm. They're going to be saying like, all right, like we got to get in gear before Future Revolution goes global.
Yeah.
And it seems like you are definitely on the Future Revolution bandwagon.
Yeah, I don't know if Kabam are going to be able to compete with the type of game because it's incredibly different.
Yeah.
Now that I'm approaching level 81 and pushing to that 100 mark,
level 81. Rich, levels stop at 60. It's like minutes. Like there's only 60 levels. What is this level 81? There's no level 81. There never will be a level 81.
What, in Future Revolution?
Yeah. No. You know, because MCOC ends at level 60.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Yes. now I know what you mean. Very clever, Dan. Yeah, so, yeah. Right, so going into, again, now I've reached that point of kind of going through all the different types of content, understanding the kind of the things that you're doing with it. It's just incredible. Now I'm playing on an emulator, and the experience is not smooth. It's not the best. I would say that there's
as you would expect from that.
Yeah, there's a few kind of reasons for that.
Plus, you're through a VPN.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing as well. So I'm not getting like the best experience, but the experience that I'm getting at the moment from the point of like the boss fights are very different. You are dodging. At times you're pressing the bottom right hand corner to dodge, or kind of like doing all the kind of different things. The way that you have to go to certain areas and explore in an open world area to grab something in order to then create a particular type of costume, or you're grabbing something of an item, it's not 100% perfect, but the way that you kind of go and grab certain bits in different areas to then create something and then grind out. And also there's a lot for PvP, and there's a lot for player kind of raids and stuff like that. I don't know where to kind of like start with kind of like talking and kind of explaining the game, because it's just there's so much to it.
Is it scratching that World of Warcraft itch, but with Marvel characters? It is,
and that's the thing. I think a lot of players were looking for a replacement to Marvel. Marvel Heroes. Was it called Marvel Heroes? Oh, there was a PC game.
There's been a lot of Marvel games.
Yeah, there was one that was kind of like an open world-ish type game, but I don't think on this magnitude. And this is the thing with it. It's just like it's got like, as soon as you get to a certain level, you have things called specializations, which is like opening the mastery tree in MCOC, but you can only do that until you're like level 80, and it kind of adds further depth to what you do and how you collect the resources to improve your masteries. I put in bunny is masteries, your specialization is by doing raids. Like daily raids allow you to pick up these particular items. You can spend your premium currency to do more, because you can only do one a day, but you can spend more to grab more and that kind of stuff. But it's like a lot of stuff is regrindable, and you improve your squad level. So your squad is basically like it's like you in MCOC. It's like your masteries, another like type of mastery, but it's kind of like for every champion. For this is like every hero you take in, and every new hero that you grind out from level 0 to level 100, you improve the squad level. So it makes the process better for regrinding the levels. So when you do it, you're kind of like your potency is like you're able to do stuff a little bit more better, which also helps your main characters. So like my main's Doctor Strange, and I'll be kind of going to another one. So it kind of like helps out on that process. Honestly,
is Doctor Strange the meta character? Because I've seen Seaton was very high on Doctor Strange as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with this one. I think a lot of them are good for different reasons. Black Widow seems to be getting a big bump of popularity. Storm is going to be my second character I'm probably going to look into do, but I need to be very careful on the on how much work I do on the North America and like Canada side of things, because I'm European, and I'll probably be more easy for me to play in Europe, and I don't think you can take on your account to those respected areas, which is handy for like raid. I can raid with people and friends and stuff. So that's going to be the thing. It'd be nice to go and say, right, well, when you want to do a raid of a particular, say like you're you maybe say you're struggling with a boss, or I'm struggling with a boss, and like you've got your main, I've got my main, but we're trying to like play with our alts. Then we can just go like, oh yeah, I'll hop on. We'll kind of like bash out the Laufey raid, the Zola raid and stuff. So it's like you've got this kind of like opportunity to kind of properly play with your friends in various locations. So it's like, I'm really looking forward to making a lot of content. I've got lots of video ideas. I'm going to do a lot of gameplay stuff first off, and just throw that out on the second channel next week, and then because I hear that it's going to be released. LD Player, who I'm going to be potentially working with, who are an emulator, they've got this theory that, or they said that it's going to be released next month, but I don't know what they mean by that, because it's still on global release for 30th of September. So unless for whatever reason they've gone, okay, the soft launch went really well, let's bring everybody on board earlier, or this is going to be extended to proper North America, and it will be, Canada, US states, and that will be it. But it could be it could be something else. But I am loving the game. At the moment, I have it running in the background because I've done a lot of because I'll do a lot of grind. That's the thing about the game. You can have it if you got PC or even like tablet or phone. You can have it running and doing stuff like questing. Like I'll auto some of my side quests, which bumps my levels up, which means that I'm able to take on like harder bosses, and that's the great thing about it. Like you can have it either get involved with it, because some stuff in the PvP stuff you'll have to be doing it yourself with no auto fighting. Other times you can have the auto questing stuff just kind of like just doing its thing, just chilling whilst you're chilling, and kind of like doing something else. So that's why I love the game, because it's got that kind of so much freeing and casual nature to it.
Now, how are they going to monetize this game? Do we know that? Is that clear from the beta so far? Like, can you spend money right now?
Yeah, you can spend money. A lot of the times, the spending side of things comes with as you progress the levels. And I think one of the mistakes that I've made very early on is kind of like spending my premium currency, which is you get the two things. You get you get crystals, and there's something where it's got. You got free crystals, so basically your premium currency that you grind out. I think you can accumulate so far about 5. I'm going to estimate because I'm still at level 80, but I'm saying it's about like 5+K from free to play. Now, what I did with about 2K of mine is I spent it on stuff on the store. So I got some of the where is it, the cards, because there's so many different things to improve your hero. You can get special cards that look like their comic book artwork. They're called cards, and you can get them. Which then improve your stats. You also can buy, and let's face it, a lot of people talk about costume buying, and that's the thing. That you can get some really kind of nice costumes, which are referred to if you spend your crystals. They're called, like, you draw them. You draw these kind of things, and it's like a thing where Rocket kind of is doing some kind of thing to open them up, like a crystal being opened. And the stats can be really quite good of stuff that you can pick up. For me, getting this stuff, I kind of feel like I'm going to go with the bundles, not the paying bundles, but as soon as you get to like a 10 increment levelage, you'll get something for it. So like you're saying, like, okay, reach level 60 and you get this bundle available to you to buy. So what I'm doing now is I'm saving up my free crystals to level 90 or 100, and then seeing what the bundle's like, and then pulling the trigger and getting something. And they seem to be getting better as I go up. I've gone past the 24-hour mark on my level 81. Just kind of I thought I'd just like explain what it is, but there's different things available, and there seems to be some good stuff for that. So yeah, like that. I mean, a few people have gone like, oh, why would you spend on a mobile game? And like, oh, I just stay free to play. And it's like, look, I get it, but at the same time, this wasn't done for free. This was an absolute monument of a game. Yeah, its quality is fantastic. If they developed this and they've done it, a lot of companies' money has obviously gone into this from Netmarble, but this is something that, I wouldn't not spend any money on this. It's a bit different with Marvel Realm when that was released in its state. The difference is to where it is now. But,
Sure.
you know, looking at the quality of it, the world builds, the questing, the effort, you know, I would be happy to spend in this particular game. But, you know, we're still in soft launch, so I want to see, you know, what they're going to do. Like a monthly card, is that going to be coming on in? A battle pass?
Sure.
Those kind of things. But, yeah. Really, really exciting.
Cool. Well, I think we're all looking forward to that global launch. Coming up in September, and you know, getting our hands on this game and seeing how it feels to play. But hopefully, he'll be raiding with you fairly soon, Rich.
Yes, I will. I'm going to get to level 100, and then I'm going to be working on an alt, which I do plan to kind of like. Get up with everybody else. I'll probably like go from level 1 and then stream on the day. As like at the moment for me, I can't stream in through my VPN, which is just it's really gutting because I would most evenings just love to just be playing this. Sometimes I'm gonna have to like redo my schedule. Like one day will be MCOC, one day will be Marvel Future Revolution, just because like it's a bit more kind of a relaxing, chilling game to kind of like vibe with people and kind of just get on with the grind with it. So
nice.
Right, I think that concludes a very, very in-depth episode. Whether or not, you know, you like your Lokis, you like your MCOCs, and you like your Marvel Future Revolutions and Marvel Realm of Champions. Dan, what are you up to next week? Or trying to be up to?
What am I trying to be up to? You know, I got to get to work. Like I gotta get Cavalier done. I actually have to play the side quest. I've got this Summer of Pain, Darkhawk and Venom to finish up with. I need to get to work.
Yeah.
Basically, I need to get to work, and I want to get back to my Variant 6 guides. I was hoping to get one out last week, and I didn't, but hopefully that is what I'm doing. And then we are like, you know, I've talked about, you know, the concert industry, not the greatest the last 18 or so months, but we are now less than 2 weeks away from reopening, and it is not a soft reopening, Rich. You know, we haven't done any full cap shows since early March of 2020. My first stretch back is 9 shows in 4 days.
Wow!
Opening 3 different venues. So it's not dipping our toes in the water. Yeah. It is it's let's go. Yeah. So I'm gonna load up on the coffee and Advil and power through.
Good on you. Godspeed, Dan. Godspeed with that.
Thank you, Rich. It's good to be back, but it feels like a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That has been the podcast, everybody. Thanks very much for listening and watching. You can find us, as we normally say, on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes podcasts. Make sure to follow Dan on the links in the bios, and as well myself as well on the links. We'll see you in episode 69. Wow.